So I just woke up from a 14-hour nap and I realized something. We haven't updated our iPad mini in a while. Guys, we need some ideas. Any ideas? Yeah, I got a couple ideas. Why don't we just get rid of the home button, make the screen a little bit taller, make the Apple Pencil mini and have it attached to the side, just like the new iPad Pro. You know what? Those are great ideas, but also sounds like a lot of work. We're not about that. No. Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Mohammed and today let's talk about the new iPad mini. The question that I want to answer in this video is this iPad mini worth it for students who like to take notes on an iPad? But before that, let's talk a little bit about me and my history with iPads. I use the 2017 iPad Pro Gold Edition. I've had it for a while now. And the notes app that I use for my iPad Pro is called Notability, and I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. So if you open that up, you can see that I got like 89 notes. And this is just to show you that I genuinely take notes on my iPad, and I'm not just spewing this out of, other places. I got 89 notes, and I take notes for some of the classes that have a lot of writing in it, and I genuinely love taking notes on an iPad. So remember that I am not a hater by any means when it comes to taking notes on an iPad. Anyways, the iPad mini is finally here, and it's been 4 years since the last one came out, and to my surprise, this guy actually supports an Apple Pencil. Now let's talk about the things that I like about the iPad mini. For starters, everything internally is updated. It has the new A12 Bionic chip. The front-facing camera is updated now from 1.2 megapixels to 7 megapixels. It has Bluetooth 5.0, it supports bigger storage space starting at 64 gigs. The RAM also got bumped up from 2 gigs to 3 gigs. And that's it, everything else is identical to the previous model that came out 4 years ago, including the battery size. Speaking of sizes, externally it's the same size, and I really like that they kept that because you can hold it with one hand. And it easily fits in your bag and you don't have to worry about bending issues. And honestly, that's where my compliments end. That's where they stop. Now let's talk about the things that I don't like about the new iPad mini. Let's talk about the bezel size, because we have to. I mean, look at these guys. They're taking up so much room. Believe it or not, they're even thicker than the iPad Pro. I really think the screen itself could have been so much taller if they just took out the home button, made the bottom bezel smaller and the top bezel smaller. That would have made the screen so much taller. Would have been great for note taking just because the screen is bigger, and that wouldn't compromise the external size of the iPad mini. But they didn't do that. All right, we get it. The screen is tiny. All right, the iPad is mini, whatever. But that kind of introduces a new problem, and that problem is the pencil. The pencil is taller than the screen, and if your pencil is taller than your paper, I think that's kind of weird, right? That's kind of awkward. And that could have been fixed if they made the pencil smaller or if they made the screen a little bit taller. Those two options would have sufficed, but they didn't do that. For note taking, you're gonna be zooming in and out a lot, and that's gonna be annoying for some of you, trust me. If I'm zooming in and out a lot with my iPad Pro, you're gonna be doing that twice as much with the iPad mini. Your eyes are gonna strain a little just because everything is tiny when you zoom out to right, and you're always gonna be sliding the notes to the right a bunch of times. I do that with my iPad Pro, just zoom out and slide to the right so you can write more. Imagine that with the iPad mini. You're gonna be driven crazy. You're gonna be driven batshit crazy with this. Last but not least, let's talk about the screen. The screen does get hot, and it gets hotter faster than the iPad Pro. The place where it gets hot is also the place where your hand is at most of the time when you're writing. You're gonna feel it a lot. It's not uncomfortable, but you're gonna have to adjust the screen brightness so it doesn't get too hot. So let's review that real quick before we forget. The iPad mini has a small screen. Check. You're always zooming in and out because of that tiny screen. And now the screen itself gets hot quicker than the iPad Pro. I feel like that's a lot of worries on my mind for a $500+ product. To wrap this up, when you think about the bezel size, when you think about the screen size, when you think about how hot it gets when you're using it, and also factor in the price tag, I don't think this is worth it for students who want to take notes on an iPad mini. I think there's a lot of better options out there. Even though they're kind of a bit more expensive, I think those options are a little bit more better. So yeah, let me know down below what you guys think. I love hearing your thoughts. If you use an iPad mini to take notes, I really want to hear your thoughts, so please comment down below. And that's it for this video. I hope you learned something, because I have. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.